The 2022 NFL schedule dropped officially, and what makes this year interesting is the league is seemingly getting out ahead of that and leaking a few games every day along the way. On Monday, ESPN announced 2 games that are happening on Monday Night Football, while Tuesday allowed CBS to take their turn to announce a game. As far as international games are concerned, one of the host teams this year, they will host the game in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, is the Green Bay Packers. Given that the Dallas Cowboys visit Green Bay, many wondered if this would be the game that the league would send overseas. While that may have upset some traditionalists who want to see that game at Lambeau Field from a competitive standpoint, it may have been interesting to see Dallas neutralize that, so to speak, by playing the game overseas. But that will not be the case, as the Green Bay Packers will play a different NFC East team there in London in the New York Giants, but we now know one day will host the Dallas Cowboys. It was announced that the Dallas Cowboys will visit the Green Bay Packers on November the 13th. That is actually week 10, and will officially mark Mike McCarthy's return to the team that fired him almost 4 seasons ago. Head coach Mike McCarthy's last victory as the Packers head coach came on November 11th. So that will serve as almost the exact 4-year anniversary of it. That game also took place at Lambeau Field against the Miami Dolphins. And it was one day after McCarthy's birthday, which is November 10th. Needless to say, this game has a lot of emotions and all kinds. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers have a long-standing history and rivalry with one another. Incidentally, Dallas has only won twice at the historic Lambeau Field, and both instances took place within the last decade and a half. It was Tony Romo who authored the first Cowboys win there in 2008, and a rookie named Dak Prescott who did it in the team's last regular season visit to the venue. This week 10 in Green Bay marks the first time McCarthy and Rodgers will face each other as opponents since McCarthy was fired by the Packers in 2018 after 13 years at the helm. There will be a huge narrative around the game, especially given some of the reports that came out about Rodgers and McCarthy in recent years. The relationship got off to a poor start in 2005 when the San Francisco 49ers and then offensive coordinator McCarthy chose Alex Smith with the first overall pick of Rodgers, a Northern California native who grew up a Niners fan. Rodgers was eventually selected by Green Bay with the 24th pick and was still angry at McCarthy for passing on him, even as McCarthy was hired as the head coach for the Packers in 2006. But I'm sure they were able to get over it as McCarthy and the Packers and Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl in Dallas, out of all places. But by week 10, just past the halfway point of the season, we'll know how well the Cowboys and Packers are playing, which will contribute to the chatter around the game. Will there be an underdog narrative for one of the teams? Will it be the clash of the Titans? Who will come out on top, Rodgers or McCarthy? A lot of it is still unknown since we're still practically in spring. But one thing for sure, whether both teams are good or not, a lot of chatter will surround Week 10 between the Packers and the Cowboys.